Hey, big guy, how you doing today? So, when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time indoors, like a lot of time. I was basically like a hermit, dude. It was not good. Like video games, self-loathing, phone usage, porn, like it just wasn't a good time. Like I used to, and with a lot of people nowadays, everyone is struggling with depression and anxiety. And what I've learned about vitamin D, which is outside in the sun, where you touch grass, is it actually helps regulate your mood, and a lack of it is part and parcel, and maybe even a whole cause of depression and anxiety itself. It depends on who you are as a person and your circumstances. I'm not a mental health professional, psychiatrist, or a doctor, but you can, it's a quick, simple Google search. Like you can see this lack of vitamin D is related to depression and anxiety. You don't have to look that far back in history to see that human beings just aren't hermits. That's not how we work as creatures. Sure, we had caves and started building houses and stuff like that, but ultimately, almost all of the time, regardless of the season, we've been outside. We're just not made to be this comfortable or cooped up. Can you imagine trying to live the way we do now 500 years ago? You'd get smoked. You'd last like a week. I'm not exactly sure how common this is today. Maybe you have the same condition as me, but there is a disorder out there called SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. It's a terrible acronym for the disorder, man. If you don't know what that is, basically it just means you're more prone to depression and sadness during the winter, but a lot of people seem to experience it. All of these things should just convince you by now that you really need a lot more vitamin D and sunlight than you are probably getting. I mean, for example, I talked about this in another video of mine. There's a guy called Andrew Huberman. He's got a podcast called Huberman Lab, and he literally preaches morning sunlight. Like morning sunlight will help your entire life. You could be asking yourself at a point like this, how much vitamin D should I take? Is 1,000 IUDs okay? Is 5,000 okay? Is 10,000 okay? How much is too much? Personally, I take about 20,000 a day because of my seasonal affective disorder. Maybe a good place for you to start is somewhere between the range of like, I don't know, 5 to 10,000. I'm not a doctor, so you should do your own research. However, if you're worried about taking too much, you can look this up yourself. Bro, you'd have to take like 100,000 IUDs every day for months to start to develop a calcium issue. You're not going to take too much vitamin D, especially since you're lacking vitamin D and it takes a long time to fix that. You don't have to worry about overdosing on vitamin D, man. I hope this helps.